Supernatural Season 12, Episode 1 premiere. Oh my god, it was friggin' amazing. I bet you guys didn't know this, but I am a huge Supernatural fan. Even my wife and daughter say that they're my man crushes, and I'm just like, yo, the boys are back in town, the TV's mine for the next hour because we're watching Supernatural. They like the show too, but they just like to give me crap for it. And you know, it's funny because I had always watched the show since it first came out, but like, it would like be one of those things where it was on TV and I'd watch the episodes when I could see them, but I never really saw like a lot of the show. I would see like a bunch of episodes like per season, but I didn't know like the entire story or follow the entire storyline. And so this year, beginning of this year, we went on a trip to Rome, Milan, we went to Milan, Venice, and where else did we go? Whatever, we went traveling. I can't think right now. Anyways, and so I needed something to watch, and I'm like, I'm going to binge watch all the seasons of Supernatural. And so I binge watched them all. It was amazing. Fully caught up. And then, like, when this season started, I was so excited because the last season was amazing. We found out who God was, which I knew who God was. I'm sure many of you knew it was Chuck from like the very beginning when they first introduced this character. Like, it was so easy to figure out. Then the whole thing with the darkness and going back and forth with Dean being in love and trying to do the right thing, killing death, like all this crazy stuff happened last season. And then at the very end, you know, we see their mom, Mary, come back to life. And I thought that was so cool. And it was like one of those, one of those moments where, like, you really feel for the characters. And you're like, yes, finally, something good happens for Sam and Dean. And their mom is back on Earth. As far as their dad, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, we all know who their dad is, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Which, if you guys see that movie that I was in, Heist, I got to meet him. Super nice guy. And he's the lead actor in that movie Heist that I was in. Really cool. But anyways, obviously he's, on to do other things. And he's doing Walking Dead and has all this other stuff going on. I don't think that he would not come back to appear in an episode, obviously. I'm sure he'd probably charge a little bit more money to come back. But, I don't really see a reboot of him coming back to the series. But anyways, I'm just as happy with Mary because we only got to see her character in bits and pieces when they would time travel or reminisce about their past, and so to have her back was really cool. And that whole initial meeting with Dean, it gets you all choked up and teary-eyed. I gotta pretend I'm looking this way so the wife can't see how emotional it is, inside. I'm sure you guys are all emotional too. But they're talking and she finds out it's been 33 years. So I'm not going to recap the entire episode, just go over the highlights and the fun things that I liked because you guys had already seen it. And I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below too. So make sure you guys are leaving those comments. But, right off the start, the episode just kind of went right in. They meet, they figure things out. She's super accepting that she's been dead and now she's alive, and she accepts Dean's story. I'm glad they didn't have any of this shit where Dean had to prove to her that all this is real, and they didn't go down that road. They just were like, all right, Mary's alive, let's go kill some demons and stuff, And so they go obviously to the Men of Letters bunker, where she finds out that they're not, this myth that was passed down by hunters. It's a real thing. And then obviously they see the blood, they're trying to figure out where Dean is, and then Castiel comes back, and there's all this funny interaction, between Castiel and Mary, because Castiel was in her shoes, learning about the future. And when Mary is looking at the computer when Dean's on it, and she's like, is that a computer? And Castiel's like, yeah, I don't trust them, all these funny little things. And then obviously when they go see Baby in the garage, she's super excited to see the car, and she's like, this is John's car, whatever. And that funny little scene where she's looking over and getting all these memories, and then she looks in the back seat, and you can tell she's thinking about the day that Dean was conceived, if you know what I mean. And then Dean catches on, he's kind of like, we need to get out of here, And that's one of the things that I like best about this show, is that they have a lot of serious stuff going on, but there's always a lot of humor and a lot of other funny things along the way, which makes the show so fun to watch. So anyways, the hunt for Sam is on. They're trying to find Sam, and we start to learn more about the Men of Letters from the British chapter, which, and I mean, I'm sure many of you guys agree, are a bunch of friggin' idiots because they wanted to watch the Winchesters, as Tony explains. They're watching the Winchesters, yet the world is basically ending and they do nothing. So like, this whole thing of them being so efficient that they know as soon as a monster comes to as soon as a monster reaches them, they like have it within 20 minutes and it's dead within like 45 is pretty ridiculous, because you can be super efficient, but if the world ends, it doesn't really matter. But, we won't go down that road. And that whole scene was really cool with, Sam getting tortured. Well, that wasn't the cool part, but like, she put the water on him and then they like torched his feet and he's just like, screw you, screw you. He's like, the devil tortured me. Do you really think that this is going to bother me? So at one point, I don't know about you guys, but I felt like Sam was going to break. Like the way he was, like his acting was, it looked like he was really suffering, which is obviously what you were supposed to see with the water torture and him being freezing. But it almost looked like he was going to crack for whatever reason. But I was like, if they make him crack, I'm going to be so pissed, because obviously he was tortured by the devil. So like, how would he crack under water torture? You know what I mean? But that part when she went over to his foot and like torched it, that was pretty intense. Like I was like, like his foot just split open like a sausage that's been in the microwave too long. Like that must have hurt a lot. But anyways, the whole torture scene went down. I don't know the name of the woman doing the torturing, but it was so sweet to see her get her ass kicked and die. Granted, she beat the crap out of Castiel and Dean for quite some time, but they introduced Mary. She's already in it. She's already kind of picking up on what's going on. And in the first episode, she gets her first kill. Awesome. She is definitely going to be a fun character to watch develop over the course of this season. I'm really excited about that. So we won't talk about the Sam and Dean storyline the whole time here. You guys obviously know what happens. Some other funny stuff where, he gets shot in the leg. They go to this random veterinarian. He pulls like the bullet out. Like the interactions between Tony and Sam and Dean are very weird, because like she claims that she wants to help them, at the same time she's kind of a bitch. Like she could have just sat down. Like why couldn't she just be like, hey, I'm from the British? Because throughout the entire, of all the seasons, Sam and Dean are, they get to be skeptical of people, but for the most part, they're more than willing to work with other hunters, or especially men of letters. You say men of letters, it's like their pants drop. They get so excited. So like, because the British people are so uptight, like they kind of created their own problems for them. Because if they just went in and were like, hey, we're from the British Men of Letters, let's work together, they would have been more than happy to work with them. But moving on, the other part of the story is we saw Crowley obviously trying to hunt for Lucifer because he wants to kill him. And, Lucifer can't find a vessel and he's jumping from body to body to body. And, I really hope they don't play the same storyline to where he wants to be with Sam because Sam is the only vessel for him. But it also begs the question, what is Lucifer going to do? Because Sam was the only vessel that could hold him, besides that other guy whose vessel he was inside for, the majority of the time he wasn't with Sam. I forget his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. So, what's going to happen? Is Crowley going to kill him? That's obviously what he wants to do, and he's making it very apparent that he wants to kill Lucifer. He knows Lucifer is weak right now, and he knows that he has the upper hand. He killed the two cronies really quickly at that house, and so we really don't know. Well, I guess we don't really know much about that storyline. We just know what he wants to do. He wants to kill Lucifer. Lucifer's trying to find a body. We don't know how all that's going to play out. I hope I'm just speculating, but I hope they don't do something where like Lucifer takes over Mary's body. That could be kind of creepy, kind of cool at the same time. She is the mother of Sam. Maybe she could work as a vessel as well. Like, these are things we don't know. We can speculate, but I hope it doesn't go down that road. I hope the stories kind of stay separate and then collide like they normally do throughout the past seasons. So I'm really excited. Supernatural. I know we have a new episode coming out this week. If you guys would like to chat more about Supernatural stuff, leave those comments down in the comment section below, and I'll keep doing these reviews of the episodes as I watch them. And hey, hit that like and subscribe button, and more stuff coming soon. See you guys.